Alright guys, M.V.K here coming to you again. How's everybody doing out there? Back again with Versus Match with a Twist, and here to deliver the winner for last week's match was Best Badass in Video Games. And you guys with the votes chose Solid Snake from the Metal Gear Solid series is the winner. Pretty much dominated the pretty much dominated the competition. I have all the love for Snake, so whatever, it's cool. So next up, what armor would you want? Now this actually came from a friend, Z Slasher, and usually with the Versus Match with a Twist we usually don't take requests, but this time I made an exception. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. So we're kicking it off with the first armor, and that's Iron Man, Tony Stark. Of course, we gotta, when you talk about armored heroes or just armored powered characters, you can't look no more further than Tony Stark, Iron Man. I mean, the guy has over millions of armors he's had over the years, and his latest armor is probably his strongest out of all of them, the Bleeding Edge armor. Everything his other armors can do, it can do, but even better. And technically it's kind of bio-organic now, but it's cool. Next up, his best friend, Rhodey, War Machine. Who wouldn't want to be a walking armored tank? I've always had love and respect for Jim Rhodes, War Machine. I mean, the guy was Iron Man at one time when Tony was, pretty much recovering from his alcoholism. His armor is tough as nails. It can take a beating, and it's armored powered. It's filled with arsenals that would make everybody nearly throw up if you saw him coming at you. Next up, Jaime Reyes, Blue Beetle, the Scarab. Yes, the Scarab armor. The Scarab armor is impressive. It is bioengineered as well, like biotech. It is attached to him. It gives him a sense of it has all these arsenals of weapons. It enables him to fly, to decipher many things. It's a really cool armor. Just that now in the comics now it's kind of a curse to him. Next up, the Guyver unit armor. Guyver is probably one of my favorite heroes and characters from the Land of the Rising Sun. I love the Guyver. The Guyver Unit 1, this is Sho Fukumachu's armor. The Guyver armor is another bioengineered armor that is just highly cool, highly great. It gives its wearer all the attributes, and so to speak, that is just fantastic in my opinion. Next up, Chris Powell, aka the Darkhawk armor, aka the Talon armor. That's the name of the armor that he wears. Chris Powell was young when he found the little embryo that you see in front of his chest. He put it on him, and it infused him with this armor. This armor pretty much gives Chris all kinds of abilities, whether it's supersonic flight, weapons. He's pretty much like Tekka Man and Guyver combined. And speaking of Tekka Man, there you go. Yeah, Tekka Man. In here in the States, they called him Techno Man, but Takaya is the wielder of the Tekka Man blade armor, and it's just a fantastic armor. What I would mix it up with is a miniature version of a Gundam suit. Let's just put it like that. But it packs a wallop, and it's fantastic. Next up, Samus Aran. You think I was not gonna put her armor in there? This armor lets Samus do a lot of things and let her do her job to the best that she can. Perhaps one of my favorite Nintendo characters and highly respected in the gaming world. This armor has suited her very well, and she's proven that she doesn't really need the armor to be a badass, but when the armor is on, yeah, badass. Next up, believe it or not, the Nova armor. The Nova is armor that he wears. Richard Rider wore, and besides the helmet and things like that, and the Nova power, Nova Force in him, that armor is pretty much very, very, very strong. I've seen Nova take beams from Galactus himself, Silver Surfer, Thanos, you know, people like that, and not a scratch on them. So you gotta put that up in there. The Nova's just one of a kind in my opinion. Next up, Steel. Mr. John Henry Irons, you know, inspired by Superman, and you know, he created a suit of armor and went out to help out with Superman with his armor. I mean, he's a very smart engineer, and you got to give him credit for his armor as well. And speaking of engineer, Mr. McCaff, Kurt McCaff, aka Hardware. Thank you, Mr. Dwayne McDuffie, for creating this character. Let's put it like this: yeah, he is pretty much Iron Man. He's just a character Dwayne McDuffie created, and his armor is highly advanced, just as much as Tony's. And he deserves a lot of respect where credit is due, and respect is due, in my opinion. So there you have it, guys. I chose 10 characters with armor. So the question is, which armor would you want? And like I said, I only made an exception for this one, for Z Slasher, but usually versus match with a twist, you can't request anything, but I had to take this one. But other than that, like I said, voting starts now and ends next Monday. So you guys tell me, vote now, and tell me which armor you would want. But other than that, this is Mount Vernon Kid saying peace and love. Stay tuned, keep it real. As always, guys, y'all take care.